What if your dinner exploded?
All our food keeps blowing up.
What if it stared back? What if the only thing between you and starvation
I'm hungry!
in a minute was a rotting sack of 500 birds fermenting in a frozen corpse? December, Greenland. Minus 35 degrees Celsius. The sea is frozen. The wind could strip your skin. And you haven't seen a vegetable since the last ice age. What do you eat? If you're part of a remote Inuit village, the answer is simple. You dig up a seal. But not just any seal. One that's been buried underground for months after being stuffed with up to 500 raw birds. Whole, unplucked, beaks, bones, feathers, souls, all included. This rotting meat sack has one purpose: to ferment. You don't cook it, you don't clean it, you just crack open the corpse like a piñata of regret and feast. But why? And more importantly, who survived it? Stick around, because this is one of the most bizarre survival foods on Earth, and it's still being eaten today. The dish is called Kiviak, made by stuffing hundreds of auks, tiny Arctic birds, into the body cavity of a seal, then sealing the whole thing tight with animal fat and burying it for months. Why auks? They're small, fatty, and suicidal enough to fly into your net. Once sealed up, the pressure and lack of oxygen creates an anaerobic fermentation process, aka nature's slow cooker. If your slow cooker was a corpse, after 3 to 18 months of rot, congratulations! You now have a sealed bomb of bird flesh, acidic gases, and questionable life choices.
Yeah, boy.
But here's the twist. It works most of the time. Now, if fermented bird bombs aren't your thing, let's face it, in an emergency, your fridge isn't helping. And that dusty granola bar, it's evolved. That's why we recommend ReadyWise, emergency meals that don't crawl, squirm, or stare back. With a 25-year shelf life, it's perfect for camping trips, power outages, or accidentally opening Reddit at 3 a.m. By the way, the link below helps support the channel. So if you're stocking up, you'll be feeding both yourself and the algorithm. Hit the link in the description and stock up on ReadyWise today, because some foods should stay buried and some should be ready. Now let's not sugarcoat it. This is a dish that can kill you. If not prepared perfectly, Kiviak can become a botulism party pack. One bite and you could be paralyzed faster than your dating life after saying, "I make YouTube videos." In 2013, several people died in Greenland after eating poorly fermented Kiviak. One of them reportedly didn't even finish the bird. So why do it? Because when you live in a place where the sun forgets to rise, you either adapt or eat snow. For the Inuit, Kiviak is more than just a dish. It's ritual, preservation, and survival passed down over 500 years. It's eaten during weddings, funerals, and celebrations. Because nothing says happy birthday like prying fermented feathers from a mammal carcass. Every step matters. The fat seal, the right birds, the timing, the burying, the retrieval. Screw it up and you're either dead or throwing up so hard you forget your ancestors. But what if prepared right? Rich, funky, acidic. The bones melt just enough to crunch like wet chalk.
Nice.
The fat congeals into a jelly-like slick of regret. And the meat? Locals say it tastes like a marriage between spoiled blue cheese and sardines that died angry. One bite is described as intensely gamey, fermented fish meets gasoline, and, my personal favorite, like licking the inside of a taxidermy museum. So, yeah, acquired taste. When the seal is dug up, it doesn't open, it oozes. Slice through through the leathery skin, and a stew of feathers, fat, and fermented bird juice leaks out like something that shouldn't be alive, but somehow is. Inside, the birds are fully intact, mummified in grease, soft-boned, and still smiling. You don't pluck. You don't cook. You just grab one by the beak and bite. The bones snap like wet chalk. The skin peels like bird jerky. And the taste? Blue cheese dunked in fish oil, left in a haunted basement. Some call it tradition. Others call it Tuesday. And maybe that's the strangest part of all. What smells like death to you smells like home to someone else. In Greenland, survival isn't a concept, it's a recipe. Kiviak is proof that food doesn't need to be fresh, just fermented enough not to kill you. Because when tradition runs deeper than frost, even the birds get buried with respect. Subscribe to Stranger Foods for more forbidden flavors, death-defying delicacies, and the meals your ancestors probably feared. Because while the rest of the world is counting calories, some places are still counting bones.